Hello students, welcome to my channel Simply Biology, and today we are going to do class 9th chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life. So let's begin. Well, we know that the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life, and all organisms are made up of cell. Cells are very small. You cannot see cell by naked eyes. So let's understand. सेल क्या है? सेल का मतलब है लैटिन वर्ड है लिटिल रूम. सेल सबसे छोटी स्ट्रक्चरल और फंक्शनल यूनिट है. मतलब जैसे ब्रिक्स इकट्ठा होके एक बिल्डिंग बनाती हैं, वैसे ही बेटा सेल जो है वो असेंबल होके पूरा का पूरा आपका बॉडी का स्ट्रक्चर बनाती हैं. ये एक फंक्शनल यूनिट भी है, मतलब सेल काम भी करते हैं ताकि आपका बॉडी फंक्शन कर सके. There are two types of cell: prokaryotic cell like bacterial cells and eukaryotic cells like plant cell, animal cells. Robert Hooke, he discovered the cell by making the thin slices of cork. Can you see he observed the honeycomb-like structure, these structures under his primitive microscope. Actually, उन्होंने सेल वॉल देखी थी. ध्यान से देखो, ये सेल वॉल ही है ना, जो हनीकॉम जैसी लग रही है, मधुमक्खी के छत्ते जैसी. So cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Free living cells in pond was first seen by Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Protoplasm, which is the living fluid of the cell. Protoplasm होता क्या है? Cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm. Purkinje. Then the cell theory was given by Sheldon and Schwann. And all cells arises from pre-existing cell. It is an expanded form of cell theory was given by Rudolf Virchow. So what are living organisms made up of? All living organisms are made up of cells. If you see onion peel, human cheek cells, they have various shapes and sizes. They may be cuboidal, polygonal, elliptical, small, large, various shapes. Small cell is PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organism. It's a mycoplasma. Largest cell is your ostrich egg. Smallest cell is red blood cells. Largest cell in your body, it's not largest, it's actually longest, you can say, is your neurons, nerve cell. Here are the diagrams showing the smallest cell, largest cell. Smallest cell in our body, but in males, is sperm. Largest cell. Now the organisms can be made up of only one type of cell or one cell. They are called unicellular, where the one cell is performing all the function. There is no division of labor. So वही एक cell, digestion, excretion, reproduction, all work is done by one cell. अमीबा, युग्लिना, बैक्टीरिया, ये एक सेल से ही बने होते हैं. इनके पास एक ही न्यूक्लियस होता है. When many cells are grouped together, है ना, जब बहुत सारे सेल्स और एक बॉडी बनाते हैं, ऑर्गेनिज्म बनाते हैं, उसे हम कहते हैं फंगी, प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, है ना, हमारी बॉडी उन्हीं से बनी है. तो इन ऑर्गेनिजम्स को हम कहते हैं मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म. देयर इज डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर. कुछ टिश्यूज काम कर रहे हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्शन का, कुछ नर्व इम्पल्स कर रहे हैं, कुछ डाइजेशन कर रहे हैं. सो देयर इज अ डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर. You all can see unicellular organism, an amoeba, euglena, and a bacteria. Here is a multicellular organism showing plants and fungi, some animals. Now the structural organization of a cell. All the cells are made up of plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. These three things are you can see when you are seeing any cell under the microscope. These three are prominently visible. So let's understand about the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, which is commonly found in plant cells, animal cells, even the bacteria also. So in our body, human cells or animal cells, it is the outermost covering. It allows entry and exit of only few materials. So it's a semi-permeable membrane. This is the structure of a plasma membrane, showing it is made up of lipid, fat and proteins. It prevents the movement of molecule, unnecessary movement. It is living, it is elastic, thin, and it encloses all the structures of the cell nucleus cytoplasm. It is made up of lipid and protein. Now, how do the movement of the substance takes place into the cell? How do the substance move out of the cell? So it takes place with the help of two processes. Number one, diffusion, and number two is your osmosis. Let's understand about diffusion. So when your oxygen is coming inside your body, when you are inhaling, when we are exhaling CO2, so this is because of diffusion. What is diffusion then? It is a spontaneous movement of molecules from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. So diffusion plays a very vital role in gaseous exchange of the cell. Then what is second is osmosis. Is the movement of the water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane from the region of higher concentration to the region of low concentration through a selectively permeable membrane. This is a very important line. So water also obeys laws of diffusion. So osmosis is a special type of diffusion where the water is there. Diffusion is shown by solid and gases, but water shows osmosis. It's a spontaneous movement of water molecule from the region of higher concentration to the region of low concentration through a selectively permeable membrane. What is the significance of diffusion? It helps in gaseous exchange between the leaves and the air takes place. Transport of food through the phloem takes place because of this. Loss of water, movement of ions in solute is done because of diffusion. Let's see what is osmosis. Here you can see the sugar concentrated solution is there, the water is there. Water is higher on the right hand side if you see. Okay, and the water concentration is low in the concentrated sugar side. After some times, and they both chambers are separated by selectively permeable membrane, which is permitting only the water molecules to move here and there. So can you see that the water molecules, they are moving gradually towards the low concentration area and making the water rich. So water molecule passes through. Okay, and can you see that on the right hand side the water level is decreasing and on the left hand side the water level increases. It's because of osmosis. So what is the significance of osmosis? It helps in absorption of the water by roots and the root hair from the soil. Water moves from one cell to another cell. It controls the amount of water in the cell. It controls the various physiological activities like opening and closing of stomata, splitting up of fruit, dehiscence of fruits, seed dispersals. There are three types of solution: hypotonic, isotonic and hypertonic solution. Hypotonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has higher water concentration than the cell, that means the solution is dilute. Now the cell will gain the water with the process of osmosis, or here we call them endoosmosis, and in this case the cell will likely to swell up. Isotonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has exactly the same water concentration as the cell, so there will be no net movement of water molecule across the cell membrane. Such a solution is called isotonic solution. Here the cell will remain the same size. So if you see the diagram, here the red blood cells, they are kept in hypotonic solution, which is having more, the cells are having more water concentration because they gain the water, okay, after some time, and they are bursting. Can you see that? So the cells inflate and eventually burst, especially in our human cells and animal cells. So in hypo, I always tell hippo, mote ho jate hain. Isotonic solution, where the concentration remains the same, so there is no net movement of water molecule because the concentration of water is same outside and inside. And what is hypo? In hypotonic solution, if the medium surrounding the cell has low water concentration, जैसे आपने खीरा काटा, खीरे में नमक डाल दिया तो खीरा पानी लूज कर जाता है ना, Why? Because खीरे के अंदर पानी ज्यादा था और खीरे के बाहर का जो सोल्यूशन था उसमें पानी कम था, तो हाई कंसंट्रेशन से पानी लूज होके लो कंसंट्रेशन में चला गया, इसे हम कहते हैं एक्सो ऑस्मोसिस, एंड हियर द सेल विल श्रिंक। धीरे धीरे खीरा श्रिंक हो जाता है। ऐसे में हाइपोटोनिक का एक अच्छा एग्जांपल दूंगी, हाइपोटोनिक जिसमें हिप्पो जाते हैं सेल्स। आपके रेजिन्स, किशमिश, जब आप खीर बनाते हो, हलवा बनाते हो, फूल जाते हैं बिकॉज हम वाटर में रखते हैं उन्हें, इसीलिए। Now there is another term given which is endocytosis. Endocytosis का मतलब होता है the flexibility of the cell membrane that enables the cell to engulf the food from its surrounding. Like अमीबा क्या करता है, अपना खाना जो है वो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी की वजह से, यानी उसके पास सूडोपोडिया है की वजह से वो खाने को आराम से engulf कर पाता है, ले पाता है। So it's a flexibility, ठीक है, flexibility of the plasma membrane that helps the cell to engulf the food from its surrounding. So it can be two types, phagocytosis and pinocytosis. You will do this in class 11th, so don't do it for class 9th NCERT preparations. So here's the diagram of hypertonic solution. Here you can see the red blood cells, they shrink because they have lost the water, because cell के अंदर पानी ज़्यादा था और बाहर concentration कम था. So when you're hyper, you're losing, है ना? So that's why. This is endocytosis, सेल के अंदर खाना आ रहा है, देखिए प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी की वजह से. Now about the cell wall. Cell wall in the plant cells, you know that the cell wall is present, which is an extra additional protective layer for the plant. It is dead layer. It is made up of cellulose. It is fully permeable. It provides mechanical strength, shape to the cell, rigidity to the cell. It's exocytosis. Cell के बाहर निकल रहा है material. Now, when a living plant cell is kept in a hypertonic solution, so what will happen? So it will shrink away, मतलब उसका अंदर का जो सेल कंटेंट है वो shrink हो जाएगा और lose कर जाएगा, right? So cell wall will remain intact in this case also. एक लिविंग प्लांट सेल को आपने हाइपरटोनिक यानी कि नमक के सोल्यूशन या फिर शुगर के सोल्यूशन में डाल दिया, उसका सेल कंटेंट श्रिंक हो जाएगा अवे फ्रॉम द सेल वॉल, इज कॉल्ड एज प्लाज्मोलाइसिस. इस फिनोमिना को कहते हैं हम प्लाज्मोलाइसिस. What is a protoplasm? Protoplasm is a living fluid. Okay, ये colorless jelly है. It includes nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. Can you see a plasmolized cell? देखिए हमने लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में देखिए 20% सुक्रोज में हमने प्लांट सेल को रखा, अंदर क्लोरोप्लास्ट दिख रहे हैं, हमें सेल वॉल दिख रही है, और न्यूक्लियस भी दिख रहा है, डेंस ब्लैक a bit of tint. After some time, can you see that there is a shrinkage of the cell content away from the cell wall? Shrink हो गया है after 2 minutes. फिर मैंने पानी में डाल दिया इन्हें वापस, इन्हीं सेल्स को, और पानी के साथ वापस आ गए, deplasmalized हो गए. So this is a plasmalized cells, shrinkage, cell content away from the cell wall. ये hypertonic solution में होता है, जो हम रखते हैं तब होगा. So बच्चों मेरे हिसाब से आज आप लोग इतनी ही इसको रिवाइज करिए, टॉपिक को इतने को ही, ठीक है. एंड डू शेयर द योर डाउट्स इन द कमेंट सेक्शन बिलो. I will read your doubts, I will tell you how to solve it, and I will share the notes also. Thank you students for watching my videos, liking and supporting. Do like and share and subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you everyone. Thank you.